Jesse Singal is an interesting character. He's a journalist. He's written for a bunch of publications, like the New York Magazine, I believe. He's the former contributing writer, former writer at large for New York Mag. And he's written a lot of stories about transgender youth, which has got him attacked by the left. So he's made several jokes about joining the intellectual dark web and things like that, but he's a fairly, I don't think he's necessarily on one side or the other. He's kind of his own unique character. But he brings up a really, really good point about the state of gaming journalism. And he starts with this tweet. He says that he's joining Gamergate, because apparently that still exists, but he has this image, which is funny. The image says, "The more I played, the more I wondered just how many of an individual species I'd have to hunt before extinction set in, before the balance of the New World's ecology was devastated to the point where it would take centuries to repair. What is the American bison tipping point of Monster Hunter world? Of course, there isn't one. There can't be. Where's the fun in that?" What? My God. But this is literally what gaming journalism has become. Questioning the morality of the actions you take in a virtual world hunting monsters. And this is kind of what he points out. He says, Jesse tweets following this, "There's a genre of generally thoughtful social justice writing journalism that, quote, that parentheses, thankfully, has a huge audience. There are also a lot of articles like this where I genuinely have no idea who the target audience is because I'm not sure who thinks like this." Who plays Monster Hunter and sits there wondering about, are they damaging the ecology and the environment because they killed a dinosaur or something? And then he adds, this is good, quote, "Super Mario Bros. Rarely, if ever, grapples with the moral questions surrounding the idea of jumping on a turtle and causing it to retreat, terrified, into its shell. Foucault once said that, ... And yes, he brings up a really good point that I don't go to these gaming journalism websites. I got to be honest. When I was looking at whether or not I wanted to buy Anthem, I went to YouTube and I looked at various videos from different YouTube channels because I don't trust these publications that write about it. There's something really important you need to understand, okay? These blogs, these digital websites, they have to produce content all the time. And I will let you in on a dirty secret because I know some of these people who work at these companies, and they often talk about how they go to work some days and they have no idea what to write about. So imagine you're working for Polygon or Kotaku or, whatever Gawker network or Splinter or whatever. And they're like, "What are you going to write about today?" And you go, "Ooh, a gaming website? Well, there's no gaming news. I mean, the games have all dropped. There's nothing really going on. I mean, you could write about a weird thing that happened in Fortnite, maybe, like some dude did a thing." And then someone goes, "Why don't we talk about, like, the inner workings of Monster Hunter world?" "Oh, I got an idea. Why don't I write about, like, I don't know, extinction in Monster Hunter?" And they're like, "Yeah, do that." Basically, they pull random crap out of a hat because they need to produce content every single day, and they have to write numerous articles. But if there's no news happening in gaming, what do? They just write this insane garbage. I'd love to see someone write an article about Super Mario Brothers morality because the game is spent. First of all, the turtles are called Koopas, and the little mushroom guys are called Goombas. And those, my understanding, those are ethnic slurs, right? So there you go. But I want to make another point too about this because there's a game from Amazon. It's called New World, and Polygon wrote about it. And admittedly, I made a video about this because I thought it was hilarious that Polygon was like shocked about the colonizing a new world, and the way they frame it is just so insane. This is the review they do. Polygon does this review for New World. Let me tell you something about New World, because I got an actual review here. This is from PC Gamer. This is a lot better. Amazon's MMO New World shows off fortress construction in new screenshots. Look at this photo. We see it's a man, he's wearing some kind of fur, and he's building something, or he's got a backpack. This guy, he's wearing what looks like, medieval clothes, and got a pickaxe. He's mining. This dude is starting a fire. This guy's wearing some kind of medieval, looks like conquistador armor, okay? This dude just wearing furs. This dude, wearing furs. These guys shooting at some barrels that could explode. Then you got this person who's wearing, I don't even know what era this is. He's got a sickle. What is it, 1800s? And he's working on what looks like some kind of, I don't know, what does it say? It says, according to the developers, he's actually looking for ingredients for tinctures and potions that will give armies an edge in battle. Oh, he's magic potions. And we have this. Look, floating giant, spires with weird red glow. And it says, the corruption corrupts things. Apparently, here it is corrupting a town. Now, here's the point. What do they show in the image? They show a guy wearing colonial clothing. He looks like, like a Minuteman or something from the Revolutionary Army, shooting a zombie of some sort. But they frame it as questionable MMO as you colonize the new world. When the game is clearly about customizing your character, okay, how many MMOs have a wide range of clothing you can wear? What do? They put a guy in colonial clothes and then make it seem like it's white colonialism. They actually called this some ridiculous. Okay, the game treads unwarily into a heart of darkness-like country of racist imperialism. Here's a setup. I am a settler who's landed on the pristine shores of a new world. I own nothing, so I scavenge and craft. I team up with others and build a settlement. I specialize in warfare or building. I wage war, killing them, taking their homes. So the game really it's supposed to be about like a new Eden. It's a new world where you come and there's apparently magic and zombies and things like this. And Polygon wants to frame it like racist white colonialism. Look at this. The game is set in a fictional landmass in the Atlantic located near Bermuda. The time frame is the mid-1600s, which is the same period as the first settlements by English colonists in North America. Oh no. That said, the colonists are not explicitly European. Oh, he mentions that later. But he's still trying to push this social justice far-left identitarian narrative of white cis heteronormative patriarchy and colonial guys coming. There's an important quote that I want to pull in. So it's like, when you look at this, it's like bow and arrow, a flintlock pistol. It's like out of time, This guy's got like a medieval shield of some sort. This is the real game. Open world, regular old like Skyrim-esque, doing normal things. But when you get into the absolute state of this social justice gaming journalism, they start framing it as you're doing something evil. Look at this. To the white men, here was the evidence that these wretched men, women, and children had been abandoned by God, marked by providence for extinction. They were the walking dead. And this is a video game that seems to literalize that disturbing metaphor. Now, here's where it gets good, because Polygon tries to interview some of the people who worked in the game, and they're fucking confused as to what the hell this dude's talking about. I think this is what I have pulled up. During an interview with the studio head, Patrick Gilmore, I put a version of this notion to him. He looked genuinely shocked. That's not really been a focus at all, he said. The lore of the game is that there's a tainted aspect to this world, that it's a Garden of Eden that has fallen from grace. And then he goes on to say, you could argue that this is precisely how 17th century Europeans viewed the New World. Oh my God. These people are literally out of their goddamn minds. So I did a video at 4 p.m. I think this video is up at 6, where I talked with Joey Salads. And this is what we talked about. If you haven't seen it, go to youtube.com/Timcast. Watch this video with Joey. Admittedly, I talk too much. I get it. But in it, Joey was making these extremist videos where he literally hired black people to destroy a Trump car, a car with Trump stickers on it. And he said he didn't realize how crazy he had gotten, but it was the rage that was getting him clicks and making him money. And he got busted for it. He had to come clean. Now what does he do? Now he makes videos where he put on a wig, put a purse down, some guy opens the purse and gets sprayed in the face with milk as a prank. Really family-friendly, PG-13 kind of pranks. So when you look at how Joey was doing these extreme videos to make money, and he didn't realize how crazy it was, you can see what they're doing here with Polygon. They're so desperate for a narrative. They need this to get you angry. They need the far left to start shrieking about the white men. This was evidence that the wretched men and women were abandoned by God and marked by providence for extinction. And then when you actually ask the developer, he looks genuinely shocked, like, what? Like, let's look at what the game actually is. The game is just like Skyrim or any other game. You're just walking around doing your thing. But when Polygon gets their little weird psychotic hands on it, I'm sure that these people don't realize how radicalized they've become when they're lying about what video games really are for the sake of controversy. And the developer just like, it's just a world that's been tainted by corruption. Yes, corruption. Let me show you what the corruption is. Literally, it's like a glowing red magic. And then they argue that's precisely how the 17th... Okay, the game is undoubtedly a violent expression of 17th century Atlantic colonization and ought to be treated as such. It is made and will be played by the heirs to that colonization. Oh my God. And here I am, as someone who's not the most avid gamer. I play a lot of Civilization 6, admittedly. When I finish up, I play for about an hour or two. That game takes so long to play, by the way. And I wonder, I wonder if Polygon is going to drag great classics like Sid Meier's Colonization, or how about the remake, Sid Meier's Colonization, or the fact that in Civilization 6, you literally develop the concept of colonization, and that gives you justification for going to war with underdeveloped civilizations. No, they take an open world RPG that has a variety of different clothing styles, they frame it as a white colonial dream of oppressing the underprivileged minority population of the land, and this is how insane we've gotten. Well, I don't say we, but they're radicalizing themselves. Now, here's the point. Joey was radicalizing himself with his crazy content. He got caught. He had to stop. It brought him back to reality. These people, they get caught. No one says anything. They're defended. They're protected. Institutions guard them. So they're just becoming crazier and crazier. They're literally losing their goddamn minds. And you can see by how the developer looks genuinely shocked by these weird fringe comments. He said, that's not been a focus at all. That's not the game. Why are they crazy? They've gone nuts. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Stick around. I got 2 more videos coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you then.